Excavation Profits Podcast by Excavation Marketing Pros. Interviews with successful excavation and septic business owners, revealing how they market and grow their business in today's economy. Hear directly from the most successful leaders in your business and discover what they're doing to keep their phone ringing, equipment running, and businesses booming. Now your host, Scott Andreessen.
Well, welcome everybody to the Excavation Profits Podcast. This is your host, Scott, and today I have two very special guests with me. I have Clint Mundt of Septilink, who you may recall from a year ago. He's coming back on for a revisit with a client of his and a user of Septilink, Chris Ragsdale of Septic IQ. How are you doing, guys?
Really good. Thanks for having us again, Scott.
My pleasure. How you doing, Chris?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Awesome. I think there's a little bit of lag, but I can hear you okay. Super. So for those of you that recall our podcast with Clint from Septilink a year ago, he had this really awesome idea for septic maintenance and this technology. And so, Clint, if you would please start off giving us a little introduction, a background of yourself and Septilink and how that all works. Would you please?
Sure. Yeah. So I came across the concept of septic monitoring as a frustrated homeowner about 5 years ago, and started doing a little bit of research on a property where we were living at the time, had two septic systems, and I was not having a great time. And Scott and I talked a little bit about this last time, and that frustration eventually resulted in some good R&D that then resulted in us building some of our first prototypes to see if we could really proactively diagnose septic problems before the red light catastrophe that was our normal experience. And it proved, in the research that we did, it proved that we could do that. And as we did more work and I looked at the overall business model, we did some market validation, we realized that, we weren't the only ones who were really feeling like this type of technology. We monitor everything else in our home. Why wouldn't we monitor the wastewater side of things? And so we founded Septilink, and that started a multi-year. We're just about to enter our third year, and as a result, we've been able to partner with a lot of outstanding septic professionals who are using our technology to help deliver a greater peace of mind to their customers. And that was really what we had set out to do.
Awesome. Now, when we spoke a year ago, Septilink was, kind of getting off the ground. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but since then, how many users have come aboard in the past year, and how have things changed with Septilink?
Yeah, a lot has changed since we last spoke, and since then we completed those field trials and the R&D research in the field and launched the SL5 product officially at the Texas On-Site Show in March of 2025. Since then, we built and sold over 1,000 units through over 20 partner dealers. We call our customers dealers in 12 states now at last count. So we also recently outgrew our offices in North Texas and relocated to a new 7,500 square foot facility in East Texas. So since we last spoke, a lot has changed, but really just the switch to a commercial entity from where we were in developing the technology previous.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really exciting. And now, Chris, you are an actual user of Septilink, right?
Yeah, so as a septic maintenance provider, we install this for our customers. So we're not the end user that owns the septic system, but we're using this to facilitate better care of our customer systems.
Yeah, awesome. And so we're going to dive into that a little bit more coming up. Clint, what has been the most surprising part of watching contractors and business owners like Chris using the Septilink system out in the field?
Yeah, the reaction to the technology and the creativity really to find new and interesting ways to bring value to the product. I would say that's been fascinating. We like to train our dealers on site when they come on board, whenever possible, and experiencing that excitement and let's call it this eye-opening event that you see this move from the current paradigm to this data-driven paradigm is truly one of the most exciting things that we do in our world. And watching the contractors, go through that evolutionary process, if you will, is great. The other surprising thing that we really didn't have on our radar was the transformational opportunity that the technology would help facilitate, from break fix to this proactive engagement model that I'm sure Chris will get a chance to share about, that he has effectively done in his business. So that's the two things I'd say that are most surprising.
Very cool. Now, Chris, can you share a bit about your business? What it looks like, the size of your business, and then how you first came across Septilink?
Yeah, so we're actually a pretty small operation. I've intentionally really kept it that way for several years as we work to build foundational elements that will allow us to launch into something bigger. We're not in a hurry. We're going to do it right and take it as far as it'll go. But the piece, where Septilink fits into that is just, it's a great tool for us to be able to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think you asked about where we started with Septilink, right?
Yes.
So we, Clint and I met at the Texas On-Site Wastewater Show, March of 2023, and I had hoped that someone would apply this great technology to the septic system world for quite some time. I mean, I can turn the refrigerator or my oven on and I can monitor the temperature in my refrigerator. And I'm just like, well, why can't you do that with your septic system? So for at least 6 months or a year prior to that, I was looking to see what was out on the market, and really nothing existed that was substantial enough to really bring a meaningful difference. And I remember walking up to Clint's Septilink booth and meeting his family, and I saw the boards, control panels on display there, and all the charts and everything that they had all set up. And I said, "This is it. This is what I've been looking for. I want this. Let me sign up." And so we got some of the first devices that they produced that helped them go through the pre-production process, I guess. Of course, they did all the work on that. We just reported back some data and some findings as things came up.
Yeah. Now, what problem were you trying to solve in your business before using Septilink?
I mean, I guess just giving a customer better peace of mind. My company, we went on a journey back in 2022 looking for just really any way to differentiate ourselves. And I would say getting a good CRM, good software to manage your business was key. So I demoed about maybe 10, maybe 12 over the course of 2022. Brought many people from my team, sat down and talked through what these different products offered. And, so Service Titan is where I ended up. We launched Service Titan in March of January of 2023. So a couple months before meeting Clint there and the Septilink team. We started doing that. We started offering monthly billing, which allowed customers to budget the expense of septic repairs a little easier. Service Titan also gave us the ability to give all my guys an iPad, and now they go out and they go through their checklist. They take pictures of key components, so our customers can see that we're actually doing the work that they're paying us for, and so it gives them a great level of confidence. So I would say confidence, building trust with the customers, but also solving actual septic problems too, and they're both equally important.
So what does your daily or weekly workflow look like now with Septilink? How has that changed?
Well, we definitely get fewer catastrophic failures. I mean, not everybody's our member, so we certainly get plenty of calls where somebody says, hey, my septic system's totally overflowing, come help. Okay, cool. We'll send a pumper truck, we'll send a repair technician, we do all those things. But we're not seeing that with our members that have moved over to the remote process, full process monitoring.
And how easy or hard was it to get set up and trained on the Septilink system?
It's a very simple system to install. From a hardware perspective, if you can install a septic control panel, you can certainly do this. Probably even less skill than installing a control panel, because there's no floats to hook up in different places. There's no timers, no breakers. Well, I guess the later models, newer stuff coming out has some breakers in there. But real easy to hook them up. If there's a challenge, it's figuring out how this great tool is monetized in your business.
Now, are you using this on all your accounts or just select systems?
Our goal is 100% transformation. We're not there yet. We will be there. And so right now we've got over 100 of our members already online with Septilink. And you can see, actually, here's our grid, anywhere from Houston to not quite to Houston, not quite to San Antonio here, but we're there in Victoria, and I'll scoot over there for a second so you can see the rest of it. But that's our map as of today. We actually had a little power outage earlier today, right across the street from my office, and that's with that little red dot in the middle of it. And so that's real-time data. I mean, that's a screenshot. That's not real-time data, but Septilink gives you real-time data of what's going on with all your customers. It's
okay. So has
amazing.
The Septilink system helped you win more service contracts or generate recurring revenue?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I mentioned, when we got on Service Titan, we already recognized the need to go to monthly billing for a variety of reasons, but one reason being the affordability aspect. Most people budget on a monthly basis, and having it come out monthly, just like your electricity bill or your phone bill, monthly just makes sense. That's why so many places, do that. But that's been a big piece of it. And then, getting Septilink integrated in with those memberships is a key to it there.
Okay. And what kind of measurable savings in time have you seen, or truck rolls or emergency service calls?
I'm trying to think if we've had any emergencies. Like the word emergency takes on a whole new meaning if you have full process monitoring with Septilink, because an emergency, it's not, I have sewage backing up into my house. That's what emergency means, right? Like we don't have that anymore. What we might have is maybe a customer. Well, it's really not even customer driven at this point. Now it's more we see the issue because we're going to get an alert. We might call a customer up and say, "Hey, we've looked at your pump run times and we see that you've got a toilet leaking." And that's like my favorite phone call to be able to make to a customer because it sounded like a prank call. I said, "Hey, ma'am, I'm looking at your data here and I think you have a toilet running." And she kind of giggled and said, "Yeah, we noticed that. We actually got the part. We're going to fix it tomorrow." And I kind of played around with it a little bit. I said, "Does this seem weird?" And she said, "Yeah, a little." She said, "But you know what? I love that. I love that something I'm paying for is working." And I'm like, "Yes, that's what we're going for." So that's all I want to do nowadays. I'll do podcasts, but I just want to call people and tell them that their toilet's running so we can fix it and make them feel good.
That's great. So it's a very proactive approach.
Yeah.
And so overall, the customer reaction has been positive to this, then you would say?
I would say it's a very high percentage. We're tweaking this every day. We're selling something that nobody's ever sold, and we're selling it in a different way from the other Septilink dealers, which it's up to everybody. Clint doesn't force us to do one thing or another as the manufacturer. But we have a very high acceptance rate. Maybe 10% are saying, "Hey, I want to hang on to the old traditional plan," and we're trying to understand why that is. It may be they don't really feel good about the technology. Maybe they don't trust the technology. The first question I always want to ask is, well, did I do a good enough job explaining that technology? And maybe I didn't in every case. So we still love those people. We're happy to have them as members. We'll kind of let that simmer. We'll keep transforming the experience of our other members, and then we'll revisit with those folks maybe in a year or so, and just get.
Got it.
We've stopped several toilets from running and fixed several pumps, and I think they'll come around.
Okay. Any unexpected ways the system has helped your business grow or operate more smoothly?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have to fight fires, right? It's like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? Stephen Covey's book. If you look at the different quadrants, if you're living in a firefighting mindset, like, no, stop.
Yeah.
So yes, this is proactive, planning ahead. That's what it's all about.
Nice. So Clint, hearing this kind of feedback from Chris, how does it align with what you originally envisioned with Septilink?
Yeah, it goes well beyond what we had originally envisioned. I mean, I'm a technologist. I like compelling technology. I was pretty fixated early on how that would benefit me as a homeowner, and in that world, where what we really have experienced is we've evolved alongside Chris as he's found a way to create this really solid value proposition. He's being very modest. Him and his team have found a great way to articulate the value of their offering, enhanced by this technology. And this has been remarkable because I didn't really envision just how valuable that was. That these dealers, our partners in the channel, these septic professionals could find a way to really build our technology into something very compelling, really in ways I just never dreamed possible.
Yeah. So Chris, what is one feature or improvement you'd love to see added in a future version of Septilink?
Well, I mean, I think they're working on all these. That team, they do a great job of listening and thinking about what the future is, obviously. But maybe a 240 volt version. I think that's on Clint's list. And there's plenty of ways to dream about how to continue to use this technology. But at the same time, I know there's a particular market that we're focusing on here. Sometimes you develop so many options that you lose sight of your primary market. So I know there's a balance to be had there. So we'll see how it goes, but definitely very happy with what we got so far.
Can you walk through like a very basic step-by-step of how you started with this and just turned it into a new profit stream, so to speak, a recurring revenue?
Yeah, so I suspect it's the same or very similar in other states, but I'm from Texas, so here we are. In Texas, you have what they call maintenance contracts. That's the definition of that is governed by the TCEQ, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. And they would say a maintenance contract is where a licensed maintenance provider like myself would go out or send a technician on their behalf to this site 3 times a year, once every 4 months, and then also respond to emergency issues and stuff like that. So basically, it's redefining what that offering is. There's different regulations across the state. I wish I could say that it's the same in every county, but it's almost like different in every county, which makes it even more complex. But in counties that allow it, you're able to add on the Septilink functionality, and that's so it's paired with an existing maintenance contract. It's not necessarily a standalone service.
Yep. So it's an additional enhancement, the value add.
Yes.
Okay. What advice, Chris, would you give to another septic business owner thinking about using a technology like this?
It's worth it in every way that I can think of. There's definitely some thought you need to put into how to sell it. It can be done, right? Obviously, I'm doing it. It may look a little bit different in each market, but overall, your focus just needs to be on your ability to prevent problems for customers. Some people may just really feel like the run to failure model is right for their life. That's not how I like to do things, but that is, that's a concept that's out there.
Yeah, and Scott, if I would jump in and say, to round this out, what Chris has done very effectively is turn red light anxiety into happy customers with a high degree of peace of mind. And he's done this very, very methodically over a period of time as he's brought his company along. He's got some very good people that he's been hired and put in this. But that transition of taking this customer with calling in, needing something immediately, this crisis situation, which that red light and buzzer often create, and him ushering them through taking care of that at this, and then bringing them into this new realization that there's something better. That really is it's a journey that he's taken, and one that we've been able to watch from the sidelines, and very effective, because we as homeowners and system owners ourselves look at that and go, yeah, that's what I want. That's ultimately what I want. We sometimes call it a utility model. I just pay my bill and I don't give it any other thought. Whether it's my electric or my internet or whatever the case is. And that's really what I think Chris has done masterfully. and continues to evolve that into a very high degree of value compared to what is traditionally available to a system owner in a normal, the current model of this X number of visits per year type of maintenance contract.
Mm-hmm. I would be curious. One other thing, Chris, is how has Septilink helped you differentiate from other competitors in your area?
So my company used to be called Crossroads Septic Solutions, and picked it years ago because we live in an area known as the Crossroads of South Texas. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, it was a location-based name, not really anything special. There's Crossroads Plumbing and Crossroads Electrical, Crossroads. There's all of them around here, and so didn't differentiate at all. And so after going through this journey, I realized, like, this is it. This is the differentiator that I wanted. And this is what we're going to change our name to. So we changed it to Septic IQ. And you can see on my shirt here, you got the little bars like you're connected. I don't know if that's showing up well there.
Yeah.
But right, it implies, and we got new uniforms for all the guys and got wrapped all our trucks. And so now we're driving down the road with Septic IQ on the side, and maybe not everybody knows what it is, but my hope is that people go, okay, there's connection bars and IQ, it's some intelligence, right? And I hope they just go, I want to know more. And if they go to my website or they start checking out some of my Facebook videos, they'll quickly find out what it is all about there. And so we totally rebranded based on this being a key element of what we're going to offer. I told Clint not long after we started deploying this, I said, I'm not going to install any more septic systems without this technology. I'm not going to bring on any new members without this technology. And we're going to work as quickly as we can to get all of our members online, because we want to give them the best experience that they could possibly have.
Awesome. That's exciting. So, Clint, what's coming down the pipeline for Septilink? Any new features or partnerships?
Well, yes, for sure. We got good news for Chris. We have 240 volt support for situations where there's more demanding pump type of applications. So that we have a dual pump kit that we recently released, where if you have a system, there's certain systems that are out there that have two pumps versus a pump and an aerator. And we have a simple add-on for the SL5 now. So you don't have to run a second SL5 or more complex solutions like that. But probably the big one for us is we're preparing to launch our SL7 in Q1 of 2026. The SL7 is a complete replacement controller, all the same features as the monitoring only SL5, but it adds in the pump control component. So it truly is a replacement control panel, and some customers would like a single box solution for field replacements of their, maybe they've got an older controller, or they just want the features of a newer one with the monitoring. So the SL7 is going to provide that single solution, and it's nearly completed its certification. We are going to be launching that Q1, as I said, but we continue to learn more as we get into more and more states and more folks like Chris come on board. So we're really, I say we're not taking our time, we're moving, but we really want to get it right. We believe that the SL7, like the SL5, is going to have a long service life, and we want to really do well by our channel and do that properly, high reliability. But single box solution, really to replace an existing controller if that's what you'd like. On the software side, we have more site configurability ongoing improvements to the app. Chris knows we're releasing improvements to the app virtually weekly, and there's more of that to come. But probably the big one, as our dealers grow, like Chris, getting hundreds of units out there, we have to scale our tools to make it easier to manage. As that map of his gets filled in with more and more sites, and the management tools around that. So that's our one of our primary focuses is scaling those tools up. And overall, we just keep working with our dealers, uncovering new opportunities and new places to bring value in both the hardware and software side. So we're looking for 2026 to be a real heavy growth year for us, which is fantastic, and our opportunity to uncover some new value alongside our dealers.
Nice. And Chris, what are your next steps for scaling your business with the system in place?
Well, we want to keep our commitment to our existing members and get them online first. They've been with us before we had this technology available to us, so we're deploying this to all of our existing members for zero cost to them, and just transferring them over to a different membership level. And then we just keep growing from there. Just find more people to take care of, people that are tired of those failures, and see if they want to move into the future with us.
Sounds like a good plan. So, Clint, for listeners who want to learn more about Septilink, where should they go to get in touch with you or try out Septilink?
So presuming that most of our listeners are in the professional category, dealer at septilink.com. You can drop us an email. You can call our main number, 469-916-2650, or send me a email direct to Clint at septilink.com. And we look forward, if you're at any of the major shows, we're on the entire show circuit. We're happy to chat with you if you're at any of the shows. And do encourage anyone who is interested, reach out. We'd love to speak with you. Love to see if there's a good fit for us to partner together in your region.
Awesome. And Septilink is spelled Septilink.
Correct.
And Chris, same question for you. If folks want to reach out to you at Septic IQ, how would they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can just shoot me an email, Chris at septikiq.com. That's CHRIS at SEPTICIQ.com.
Very good. Awesome. Well, on that note, I want to thank you both for coming on to the podcast, sharing your story and your insight, Chris, on this. And Clint, thank you so much for providing this knowledge to our audience. And I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and bring this podcast to a close. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And be sure to go check out Clint at Septilink, and also check out Chris at Septic IQ. All right. Thank you so much. And that's all for now. Take care.
Thanks, Scott.
Hey there, excavation pros. If you enjoyed today's podcast, make sure to like and subscribe to our podcast and channel. Leave us your feedback and let us know how we did. And hey, if you're interested in taking your excavation or septic business to the next level online, make sure you visit excavationmarketingpros.com today and take advantage of our free resources and mastermind group for excavation and septic industry professionals.